Full frontals. Yeah.
We'll see how Nick's goes. Cheers.
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 Touch my death. All right, 3, 2, 1. Will it one time.
What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe, NeverSate.com, and today is a special day at NeverSate because we have some visitors. Now, if you guys did not know, we are holding a strongman competition on April 13th in Colmar, PA at the Lions Den, which is that guy's gym right there. That guy. Yeah, that guy.
Is it slippery? Is that the problem?
Son of a, he's a fast one. Now, unfortunately, but thank you very much, it is completely sold out, so you guys don't really have the opportunity to sign up. However, I do want to see what you guys could do on your own, so we're going to be explaining each one of the events. I'm going to give you guys tips and tricks if you are competing so that you can hopefully give the best performance that you possibly can. And if not, I still want to know what you guys do as far as times go, because it's just going to be fun. You guys are going to understand the events. A lot of you will be able to either recreate them or you have access to the implements. So if you guys do ever try this out, you want to throw it out, just see what times you get. We'll compare it to everybody else's. It should be a good time. But right now, I want to introduce you to these guys. You're going to recognize all their faces at the Lionsate Classic if you guys are coming there to compete, or if you're just coming there to be a spectator. All these guys will be there, so you'll get to meet all of them. And of course, everyone else from NeverSate as well. All right, so we're starting out with Coach Joe, right? So Coach Joe, if you guys watch my channel, you guys have seen Coach Joe before. Joe, tell him your name, your Instagram. Tell him something about yourself. I don't know.
My real name actually isn't Joe, okay? It's Yusuf. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. What's up, guys? Yeah, Coach
Johan von Bolt.
So I'm the owner of the Lions Den over in Colmar, PA. My man Brian Alsruhe and I do the Lionsate Classic, which I'm sure he's talking about. It's going to be an awesome time. We would love to see some of you guys there. Okay, if not, try to do this workout that you're going to see at your own place. Let us know how you guys do. But really, just hanging out with my man here. I'm going to do a video on my channel about conditioning. So I figured, what better of an advocate of conditioning than this man right here, especially in the strongman world. Very important.
Indeed.
Yeah, you're gonna like that, but yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I always have a blast. I'm hanging out with this man.
It's gonna be awesome. Thanks, Joe. All right, Brother Miles, first thing is you have these shirts coming out. Yeah. What, tomorrow, right? Friday?
Tomorrow, Friday,
so,
7 p.m.
7 p.m., what? I don't know what tomorrow's date is. Anyway.
Tomorrow, the 18th.
The 18th. So the 18th, these shirts come out. They say disability, except the dis is crossed out because my man here has nothing but ability. So, Miles, tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them your name, your Instagram handle, where they can find you.
My name is Miles Taylor.
Yes, sir.
My Instagram is smiles_Taylor.
Yup. Where they're going to find all kinds of your lifting stuff and photography.
Yep.
And you're going to be here lifting with us today, just crushing it, right? Heck yeah, man. I love this Lions Den Depth Before Designer shirt. Beautiful. Tell them who you are. Tell them where they can find you.
So I'm Coach Matt. I'm a coach at Joey's Den,
yes, sir.
The Lions Den.
How long have you been there now?
I've been there about 6 months, I'd say, right now.
That's awesome. So where can they find you online?
You can find me at CoachMatt_Lions Den on Instagram or Matt MEDLEY at YouTube.
Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. Let's go. So tell them who you are. Tell them why you're here. They've seen you before on my channel as well.
I'm Jeremy Smith.
Yep.
And I'm here to train.
You're here to train?
Very, very hard.
Yes.
And
where can they find you online?
Instagram at jsmith_fitness and YouTube. I got a YouTube channel, one video right now.
Hey,
jsmith_fitness.
I love it. All right, let's go, dude. My name's Nick. I do YouTube videos. I think I'm special.
My name's Alsruhe, and I like to play with baby kangaroos.
It's like kangaroos, but without the... All right, guys, so we set up the kind of load sprint medley for the Lionsate Classic here at my gym. Since we're inside, we had to shorten it a little bit, so this isn't the exact lengths, but I just want to talk to you guys about the basic idea of what you're going to do here. Now, we're going to start you out down on the ground in the bottom of push-up position like you're on your face, because we don't want anyone cheating, Nick. So when the judge says go, you're going to stand up and you're going to sprint 50 feet down to your first implement. Now, each one of these heights of the bar is actually going to change. For this one in particular, this is going to be your lowest one because your first implement is going to be a sandbag. If you guys have ever tried loading a sandbag over a bar, you'll know that thing, it's a bag of sand, man. It moves around a lot, right? So it's going to be your hardest one. This can be your lowest bar. You're going to sprint, come up, dig underneath, load it over top of the bar. As soon as you're done there, you're turning, you're sprinting back another 50 feet. When you get back to this one, you have a little bit easier of an implement to load, so the bar is going to be about 2 inches higher. Now, we are changing the bar height for your weight class. So if you're a lightweight man or a lightweight woman, we understand that most likely you're a little bit shorter than a middleweight or a heavyweight. So we're actually accounting for that, so your bar will be a little bit lower. Anyway, when you get your 50 feet back this way, you're gonna find this bar 2 inches higher than your sandbag bar, and you're gonna find a keg. Now, for any of you who loaded kegs before, you know it's a completely different experience. So the little bit higher bar, you're gonna have to get it really up high to clear that. But Once you do clear it, you're gonna have another more 50 feet and we're almost done. Sprinting this way, this entire 60-second course, right? So we will be taking split times if you can't finish the sandbag or the keg. So literally no one should zero the event. However, when you do get to this final position, you have the remainder of this minute, the remainder of that 60 seconds, to get as many stone over bar as possible. Now, since this is arguably the easiest loading thing out of the three, this bar is going to be the highest and this is where you're finishing it. Now, as you guys know, 50 foot of sprinting along with loading is going to take a lot out of you, so you guys are going to need conditioning. So make sure you are going over Joey's channel and checking out all the stuff that he's been putting out conditioning about that. But this is a basic idea of the sprint medley load thing that we're doing at Lionsate Classic. Your score will either be the number of stones that you get at the end of that minute, or if you can't get any stones, then we will get a split time on the keg or the sandbag. But like I said, hopefully no one's gonna zero this one. Should be a really good time. It's gonna test your athleticism, your speed, your strength, all of it. If you're well-rounded, you're gonna do well in this. If you are a one-trick pony, you're gonna have a hard time. All right, guys, so we've run it a little bit, so there are a lot of things to kind of take into consideration. Now, Joey's got a conditioning video over on his channel that he's releasing at the same time this was going on. It's gonna help you guys some ideas, but can you just give them a quick kind of run down some stuff that might help them for an event like this?
Yeah, so first off, we're not running a marathon here, okay? It's gonna be short sprints. So we're doing it, 50, 75 feet. So when you guys are doing your training, I would highly recommend doing some sort of like on the top of the minute or every minute on the minute routine to get ready for this. And then make sure you're having enough rest to fully recover so that you can go back and hit it every single time, full intensity, because that's probably what's gonna be going on in the competition.
100%.
The other thing too is, I would think as an athlete, know what you're gonna do before you do it. So don't run up to the keg and kind of have like a space out moment on how you're gonna clean and get it over, because there are methods that are gonna be faster than one another. And when you're getting out of that last one, we're probably gauging you're gonna have anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds, but say you miss some implement along the way, that's really gonna eat up the time at the end.
Yep.
So pre-plan ahead, knowing what you're gonna do to get it over as fast as possible and be sprinting. Like this whole event is gonna be, balls to the walls,
Yep.
like lung burner. You're not
100%.
gonna know what happened after it hits you type of deal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I would think going into this.
And if you don't think a couple seconds is gonna matter regularly, like even when we did seminar at Joey's gym just a couple weeks ago, we did a stone to shoulder kind of competition, and for 60 seconds, when someone says 10 seconds left, some people have 2 reps, some people have 3 reps left in that 10 seconds. So if you drop or you fumble something, you give up 3 seconds here and 3 seconds there, that could be 3 reps, which is a massive difference standing at the end of a 60-second competition. Like you don't,
Just like you
can't
always
make
say,
those
like
mistakes.
you have to make a decision. Like that's one thing Brian Alsruhe always says: make that decision. If you have 10 seconds left, you'll see guys who aren't going to go for any longer,
Yep.
or you're going to see that the guy who maybe is in front of you or behind you by 1 point, who's going to pull out, like you said, 2 or 3 reps.
Yep.
So every second counts. Just practice the way you guys are going to run through in the comp.
And you can't, at the competition is not the time to be wishing that you would have worked a lot harder before and built that work capacity, because when you're smoked on rep 6 and you need 9 to win and you have 20 seconds and you have the time to do it, but you do not have the energy left, that is a pretty frustrating thing. I've been there. I know you've been there. Like when you just don't have anything left, do not be that guy. Make sure you have enough left in the tank that you can take this event, because it's going to be a cool one. I've never seen it done before. I think it's going to be awesome.
We're stoked.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Thanks for telling us, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
absolutely.
tip. Now, the biggest clue that I can give you for this entire event is that it's going to be won and lost in the transitions. There's going to be a lot of people who move really fast. There's going to be a lot of people who can load really fast. But in that transition, that is where the game is going to be won or lost. So for that reason, the first tip that I'd like to give you is, as you are approaching your implement that you're going to load, whether it be the sandbag, the stone, or the keg, as you're coming up to it, I want you to get a huge belly breath on your way. If you run up to it and you pause over top, stop to get your huge belly breath, brace it down, dig underneath, and then start your load, that is going to take a lot more time than as you're coming up to it. If you can get your big belly breath, be bracing it down as you're stepping over top of the implement so you can scoop and go right away. That is going to help you out a ton. Shave off a couple seconds, and in a race like this, a couple seconds is going to be the difference between first place and last place. That second tip that I'd like to give you guys is to not stop and admire your work, okay? So you should have done this event enough times in practice that you know exactly what it takes to get that sandbag or keg or stone over top the bar. A lot of people will stop like loading that sandbag and they will wait to watch it hit the ground before they turn and start going. Now that again is seconds, and seconds in this thing, night and day. So as you go, have your practice enough that you know for sure that once you get that tipping point where you know that keg is going over, that sandbag is going over, you turn and you start sprinting. There is no waiting to admire your work. You're not Barry Bonds hitting a home run, right? You are literally throwing that bag over, turning and running. As soon as you get to that other keg, you should be breathing as you come up to it. Getting that big belly breath, brace it down, scoop that thing up and over. As soon as you know it's over, you should be sprinting and you should be onto that stone. Well, one thing's for sure, gravity has been doing its job for a very long time. You can trust it. That's gonna do its job here. As soon as you know that you've hit that precipice, that tipping point over, you need to be on your way to the next thing. The final tip that I want to give you guys is to not burn yourself out. Now, I know it makes logical sense that you want to move as fast as you possibly can. The problem is that if you are not used to sprinting and then using those muscles, those same muscles to load something, this is going to create a lactic acid very, very quickly. So you're going to get some leg pump by the time that you get to that stone. So you're going to be sprinting, you're going to load, you're going to turn, start sprinting, your legs are going to start feeling a little bit funny. By the time you load that and you turn and you start sprinting again, your legs are going to start betraying you just a touch. At that point, it's going to time to start loading. So you really need to focus on your breathing and your bracing as well as your hip drive. Don't be thinking about front squatting the stone up. I want you guys to be thinking about getting the stone exactly where you want by adjusting it on your legs, get it close to the top of your chest so that when you do drive, you don't lose any real estate of that stone slipping down. If you guys need more explanation of that, make sure you go check out my Atlas stone videos. But once you get that stone, you want to be thinking about raising your hips and hinging almost like a kettlebell swing. That's going to use a lot less energy, especially get the stone up high enough, because this is going to be your highest bar out of the three. So you're going to be using your hips. That is the only thing that's going to be left, because honestly, your quads and your hip flexors by this time are going to be pretty shot. So the person who's going to win is going to be working a lot of assistance stuff. Of course, working this medley, but the assistance stuff needs to be hitting their quads and their hip flexors a lot. Of course, I'd be looking at a lot of deep front squats, a lot of single unilateral leg work, things like walking lunges, jumping lunges, step-ups, Bulgarian split squats. All of those are going to help out tremendously in this, as well as things that are going to make your hinge more powerful, like your deadlifts, your good mornings, all those types of things. But more than anything else on medley, the thing that seems to help out the most is just reps of doing that actual event at the actual weight, because that is where you start shaving off times on your transition. You learn how to turn and run and do all those types of things instead of just kind of guessing at it. In my gym, we run some sort of medley almost every single week as a class, and the difference between the first time people run it and the fourth time people run it, just in that one day alone, they sometimes shave 10 to 15 to 20 seconds off their time. The more times that you guys run it and the more just razor's edge that you can cut all the fat out of all your transitions, everything is going to take up any time, you can be as efficient as possible. That is the person who's going to win this event. Don't stay and admire your work. Don't get over top something before you're breathing and bracing. Start sticking moves inside of other moves so that you can absolutely just get more work done in a short amount of time. That is how you win, by being efficient. So guys, I really hope this video helps you out. I hope to see a bunch of you at the Lionsate Classic, whether you're competing or you are just there as a spectator. Either way, it's completely awesome. I can't wait to meet you guys. If you do not have access to this stuff, try to replicate it. If you do have access, go ahead, run this medley a bunch of times. Post up your best time. I'd love to know how you guys are doing out there. There will be more of these for each and every single one of the events, so that hopefully you guys can come in as prepared and just give your best performance possible. Of course, I will see you guys later in the week, but until I do go out and do something amazing in my lives, keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I'll see you then.